time for Fresh from the Can for Monday, December 31st, 2018. I'm your armchair news reporter and presenter, Joe Hafner. And it looks like we'll end 2018 with cloudy skies, rain gradually coming to an end, temperatures this afternoon holding the upper 30s, light and variable winds shifting to the northwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy skies hanging around through tonight, areas of drizzle this evening, changing with and mixing with snow flurries overnight. No mention of any accumulation though, and overnight lows dropping down into the lower 20s. Considerably cloudy skies for tomorrow, and the first day of 2019 looks to be on the cold side in northern and central Missouri. In the Kirksville area alone, looks like we'll see daytime highs topping out only in the middle 20s. Complete details on the forecast coming up after a look at news. We'll also have a look at the community calendar in full detail coming up in just a few moments. In the meantime, in items of immediate interest, includes the Moberly Park Run is hosting their first ever resolution run tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Come join to get your healthy resolutions off to a right start. Moberly Park Run will be hosting their first ever resolution run tomorrow morning starting at 9 o'clock and finishing at the trailhead closest to the Moberly Aquatic Center in Rothwell Park. Again, that's tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the Magic City of Moberly, Missouri. Take a look at news of interest in northern and central Missouri for today. Speaking of Moberly, Moberly police have released the identities of the two men found dead over the weekend. They are 51-year-old Darren Stacy Tharp and 24-year-old Shane Austin Hare, both of Columbia, Missouri. The Randolph County coroner has ruled that the deaths of both individuals as homicide, and autopsies are being performed by the Boone County Medical Examiner's Office. Just before 11:30 Saturday morning, the Moberly Police Department was informed of a suspicious vehicle in the 600 block of Concannon Street. Officers located the vehicle and found two deceased men inside. Both appear to have died from gunshot wounds. Anyone with information about this crime is urged to contact the Moberly Police Department at 660-263-0346. Again, that's 660-263-0346, or the Randolph County Tips Hotline at 660-269-8477. 660-269-8477, or their local law enforcement agency. A Marshall man has been arrested and is awaiting formal charges for a reported shooting incident in Marshall that has left one person dead. That shooting occurred on Saturday. According to a release from the Marshall Police Department, at around 6:14 p.m. that evening, officers responded to a report of a disturbance in progress at a home located at Viking Avenue. Upon arrival, a 31-year-old Marshall man was found at the residence to have sustained injuries from an apparent gunshot wound. The victim was taken to Fitzgibbon Hospital by ambulance for treatment and was later pronounced dead. A 55-year-old Marshall man has been identified as the suspect and has been taken into custody. At last report, he was in the Marshall Police Department's custody, awaiting the filing of formal charges. Anyone with additional information about this incident is encouraged to contact the Marshall Police Department at 660-866-7411. Again, that's 660-866-7411. A southeast Iowa man is dead after an accidental shooting in northeast Missouri. Putnam County authorities say that 67-year-old Charles Kraft of Albia, Iowa, accidentally shot himself on December 21st. The tragedy happened shortly before 8:30 that morning outside a home located on State Highway 139 north of Newtown, Missouri. The Putnam County Sheriff's Office and emergency crews responded to the location. However, by the time they arrived, Mr. Kraft was dead from a single gunshot wound to his hand and chest from a .38 caliber rifle. Investigators determined that Kraft was attempting to remove the rifle from the backseat of his pickup when the gun discharged, striking his hand and chest. Putnam County coroner pronounced Mr. Kraft dead at the accident scene. A 19-year-old man has been charged with after acts of vandalism were carried out at the Dare County Public Library in Kirksville recently. According to online court records, Aaron Wallace of Kirksville has been charged with property damage in the first degree. Authorities say the crime took place a week ago Sunday. Residents notified police, I should say, that they saw Wallace throwing rocks at a copper statue in front of the library. The base of the statue was heavily damaged, and the statue itself was scratched. Wallace also shattered the Little Free Library sign, knocked it loose, also shattered the Little Free Library, knocked it loose from its pedestal, stole its books, and ripped a flag. According to a post on the library's Facebook page, the Little Free Library was built as part of an Eagle Scout project. Library staffers say it will be rebuilt, and several people have volunteered to help reconstruct it. Staffers said that the Little Free Library services as a valuable tool to Adair County patrons. A Northeast Missouri man serving time in federal prison on a child pornography charge has now entered an Alfred plea to state charges of statutory rape and child molestation. 53-year-old Joel Bremer of Unionville, Missouri, was sentenced earlier this month to 6 years in prison for statutory rape and 10 years for first-degree child molestation. Probation was denied in each case. Judge Russell Steele ordered the sentences to be served simultaneously with the sentence handed down in federal court. In that case, Bremer was sentenced in April 2017 to 18 years in federal prison. Once he serves his sentence, he'll be under supervised release for the rest of his life. In June of 2016, Bremer pleaded guilty to possessing child pornography. That investigation started when the Putnam County Sheriff's Office received a report from a 19-year-old woman that she had been sexually abused by Bremer for a period of time when she was a child. She also stated that Bremer had taken nude photographs of her when she was a minor. A second victim said Bremer also committed sexual offenses against her. In other news today, the rain and abruptly colder temperatures left roadways slick Friday morning and continued throughout the weekend. Authorities say that a Kirksville woman traveling on Highway 6, 5 miles west of Greencastle, lost control of her car on an ice-covered roadway. The driver, identified as 49-year-old Julie Cowles, who authorities say sustained moderate injuries. Highway Patrol says the vehicle, driven by Cowles, traveled off the left side of the roadway and hit an embankment. Crash occurred just before 3 o'clock Friday morning. It is unknown whether Cowles was wearing a seatbelt. She was taken to an area hospital for treatment of her injuries. A North Missouri judge is leaving his job after serving the community for the past 20 years. Judge Carl DeMars will serve his last day as Associate Circuit Judge of Scotland County today. DeMars emphasizes that he's not retiring, but rather pursuing another career path. Next year, DeMars will begin full-time studies at Wisconsin Lutheran Seminary to study pastoral ministry. After a few years of studies, DeMars hopes to serve in the gospel ministry. DeMars was born in Maryville, Missouri, and first came to Memphis in 1991 after earning a master's degree in community development. He worked 3 years for the University of Missouri Extension Office and decided to go back to law school in 1994. While finishing up law school in 1997, the then state representative Jim Sears was killed in a traffic accident Thanksgiving weekend. DeMars was encouraged to fill that vacancy. He was elected to the Missouri House of Representatives and served one term. In 1998, the then Judge John Ed Luther announced he was retiring. DeMars was elected to fill his position in 1999 and then served as Scotland County Associate Circuit Judge for the past 20 years.
It was an unusual career path, but it's worked out very well, and it's been fascinating work. It's challenging work, dealing with some of the saddest and most tragic aspects of life, but at the same time, it's very rewarding and never 2 days the same.
DeMars said it has been an honor and a privilege to serve the Scotland County community. DeMars' successor is Kimberly J. Nicoli. She has served as Scotland County prosecutor also for the past 2 decades. A Henrietta man has been charged with a felony for felony stealing from his former employer which occurred on Christmas Eve in Ray County. According to a probable cause statement, Henrietta police officers responded to the U.S. Granules Corporation for a reported burglary that occurred on December 26th. Officers viewed video surveillance, which reportedly showed 40-year-old Jeremy Hewitt drove up to the business and then entered the building at around 7:30 on Christmas Eve. Hewitt reportedly was seen removing large containers of water, multiple fire extinguishers, and a coat he did not enter the building with, as well as 8 drank items from the company refrigerator. Ray County Sheriff's deputies reportedly arrested Hewitt in Richmond on December 26th. Online court documents say that Hewitt has been charged with a Class D felony for second-degree burglary and a misdemeanor for stealing. Bond has been set at $50,000 cash only. Hewitt is scheduled to appear in court, and that occurred earlier today, according to court records at the Ray County Circuit Court office. Missouri State Troopers will still be visible on the road during the New Year's holiday weekend and throughout today and tomorrow. Missouri State Highway Patrol Captain John Hotz says the 5-day holiday fatality counting period began Friday evening at 6 and ends at 11:59 on New Year's night, which is Tuesday. Troopers will also be assisting motorists. Captain Hotz urges you to obey the speed limit, wear your seatbelt, and plan ahead, especially if you're consuming alcohol. He says 9 people died and another nearly 300 were injured in over 800 traffic crashes during Missouri's 2018 New Year's holiday counting period last year. Troopers say that one person was killed or injured every 15 minutes in Missouri traffic crashes that occurred during the previous New Year's holiday counting period. Captain Hotz also encourages motorists to designate a sober driver or to take a taxi cab if you plan to consume alcohol. An area law enforcement agency is asking for the public's help in identifying a man in a surveillance video. According to a post on its Facebook page, the Sedalia Police Department is asking for help in identifying a person of interest in a home invasion investigation. If you recognize the person, you're encouraged to contact the Sedalia Police Department at 660-826-8100. Again, that's 660-826-8100. Detective Jay Reed is the man to get in touch with at 660-827-7823, extension 1213. That's 660-827-7823, extension 1213, or send a message to the police department's Facebook page. Meanwhile, a Sedalia Walmart employee has been charged with a felony for allegedly stealing more than $2,000 out of cash drawers of the lines where she was working over a month-long period. According to a probable cause statement, 37-year-old Monique D. Williams of Sedalia is alleged to have taken nearly $2,051 from Walmart's registers between November 21st and December 21st of this year. An employee at the store said that Williams used a technique to steal the money where she would leave the register drawer open after a cash or cashback transaction and take cash out of the drawer and put the money in her pocket. The complainant provided law enforcement with a list of every transaction, the amount the complainant says was taken, and a video of the transactions. According to online court documents, a warrant has been requested, and Williams has been charged with a Class D felony of stealing over $750. Williams' initial hearing is pending at the Pettis County Circuit Court office. 3 of 4 Slater residents facing felony charges for allegedly setting a fire that destroyed a home in Miami on October 16th are due in court later this week. A news release says a joint investigation by the Saline County Sheriff's Department, the Missouri State Highway Patrol's Division of Drug and Crime Control, and the Missouri State Fire Marshal's Office alleges that 28-year-old Joshua Reeves, 20-year-old Sabrina Reeves, and 41-year-old William McDaniel, as well as 18-year-old Jordan McDaniel, were the perpetrators. Each has been charged with a Class D felony for second-degree arson. Cash-only bond for Joshua Reeves has been set at $125,000 and $50,000 for each of the other suspects. Each defendant appeared for a hearing on December 19th. Lillian McDaniel entered a plea of not guilty during her hearing. The McDaniels and Sabrina Reeves are due for hearings at 9 o'clock this Wednesday morning. Joshua Reeves as well on January 9th, all at the Saline County Circuit Court office. Saline County Circuit Court office. Remember, today is the deadline to pay personal property taxes in Missouri. The tax bills are considered delinquent after Monday, December 31st. The area county offices accept cash payments by check, money orders, debit cards, and credit cards. The Adair County Collector's Office is open weekdays from 8:30 to 4:30. If paying by mail, bills must be postmarked by December 31st to avoid a penalty. After you pay, you're encouraged to keep your tax receipt. Missourians must provide paid personal property tax receipts to the Missouri Department of Revenue in order to license your motor vehicle. You'll also be required to submit the previous year's receipt for a 1-year renewal or the past 2 years' receipt for a 2-year license renewal. For more information, please contact your local county office for more details. State Auditor Nicole Galloway has released a report on the state's oversight procedures for prescription drug benefits through Medicaid, the Children's Health Insurance Program, or CHIP, and the Missouri MOREX program, which are administered by the Department of Social Services. The report found that the state has taken effective steps to control spending on prescription drug costs, but more can be done to fight fraud and abuse. A news release says Missouri is the only state in the nation that does not have a comprehensive statewide prescription drug monitoring program. These programs collect information from pharmacies, dispensing information about controlled substances, and make that information available to authorized users through an electronic database. According to the Federal Department of Health and Human Services, such programs have been effective in addressing prescription opioid overdoses, misuse, and addiction. In July of 2017, the former administration attempted to create a statewide program through executive order. However, the program was inadequate to address fraud and abuse. An alternative exists through a PDMP created by St. Louis County, which as of August of this year includes data from 10 cities and 48 counties in the state. As a result of the recommendations in the report, the department has taken steps to access information from the St. Louis County PDMP to better identify potentially inappropriate use of controlled substances within the Medicaid and CHIP programs. The cost of outpatient prescription drugs within Medicaid and CHIP represents 14% of overall spending. Between 2010 and 2015, these costs increased. The department has implemented processes, including encouraging the use of generic drugs, requiring the usage of lower-cost drugs. As a result, prescription drug costs have decreased in 2016 and 17, respectively. The audit also recommended additional efforts by the department to ensure federal regulators and regulations are followed to gather required prescription drug information from prescribers and prevent payments from unallowed claims. The complete audit of the Department of Social Services prescription drug oversight can be found at their website on the auditor's website, State of Missouri. Meanwhile, the state auditor's office also has been busy working to review the finances of Adair County government. The report received an overall rating of good. A previous audit of the county released 4 years ago was then listed the county's finances as fair. Officials in Adair County have worked to improve operations in the county since the previous audit to better serve citizens and efficiently utilize taxpayer dollars. The audit included recommendations for the sheriff's office to improve procedures over the inmate account and for the county to keep better track and monitor use of fuel by the county's road and bridge department. The department also recommended changes to the way certain payments to the county collector are reported for tax purposes. Again, that audit report can be found at auditor.mo.gov. That's www.auditor.mo.gov. We have more local and regional news coming up in just a few moments on this edition of this program, known as Fresh Canned News for the 31st day of December 2018. Cloudy skies in the forecast for today. Periods of rain gradually coming to an end, but we could still see some drizzle tonight, mixing with and changing to light snow overnight, but no mention of any accumulation as we head into 2019. More news coming up in just a moment, but right now we're going to step aside and take a look at the community calendar. It's time now for a look at the community calendar for items of interest in northern and central Missouri. And before I run down the latest list, I wish to encourage you to submit your community calendar item free of charge to joehaffnermedia@gmail.com. That's JOEHAFFNER media@gmail.com. joehaffnermedia@gmail.com. And to start off the list for today, Cup of Joe Gathering of Veterans is held the first Wednesday of every month, holidays excluded, from 9 to 10 a.m. at the Cornerstone Church, located at 1702 North Elton Street in Kirksville. Veterans from all branches of service are invited to a morning of refreshments. The mission is to establish a network of veterans, learn about changes to veterans benefits, camaraderie, and raffle off of prizes. Call 660-785-2460 for more information. That's 660-785-2460. Also going on, the Scotland County Hospital is offering a free of charge caregiver resource group for families and friends with loved ones in their care. This monthly group will provide an opportunity for families and friends to discuss their current situation, receive guidance and advice from the facilitator, learn about community resources, and help each other with tips, advice, and learning experiences. Scotland County Hospital Annex Building, Senior Life Solutions Group Room is the place to go. That's located at 450 East Sigler Avenue in Memphis, Missouri. The next meeting is set for Thursday, January 17th. It's held the third Thursday of every month from 1 to 2 p.m. New Year's dates also include February 21st and March 21st. The Adair County Health Department is now able to accept the Anthem Missouri Exchange insurance plans, known as Pathway X, for immunizations and other services. Be sure to stop by on a clinic day, which is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, located at their office at 1001 South Jamison Street in Kirksville. Call 660-665-8491 for more information. 660-665-8491 for more information. Also going on, the Adair County Health Department will have open clinics every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. They offer low-cost lab work, immunizations for children as well as adults, traveling vaccines, TB testing, fasting cholesterol and blood sugar, blood pressure, and vital signs checks. It's also at their office at 1001 South Jamison Street in Kirksville, 665-8491. Missouri Veterans Commission office is on the first floor of the Adair County Courthouse in Kirksville. Offices are open Monday through Fridays from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Again, call 785-2460 for more details. 660-785-2460 for the Missouri Veterans Commission office in Kirksville. The American Red Cross is facing a looming shortage of blood types, mostly needed by patients, and calling on eligible donors with O negative, B negative, and A negative blood. Give now to prevent an emergency situation. Blood donation appointments can be easily scheduled by one of three methods. You can visit the Red Cross website at redcrossblood.org. Use your smartphone or tablet computer and use the Red Cross Blood Donor app, or do it the old-fashioned way by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS. That's 1-800-RED-CROSS. The Macon County Health Department Their office is open Monday through Thursdays from 7:45 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Office is located at 503 North Missouri Street in Macon. For more details, call 660-385-4711. 660-385-4711. Also going on, the Still Caring Community Clinic is a student-run physician overseeing medical and dental clinic that can help you get the health care you need. The clinic is on the first and third Wednesdays of each month at the Gutensong Clinic at 800 West Jefferson Street in Kirksville. Signs will be posted at the main entrance. Clinic phone is 660-525-7824. That's 660-525-7824, or email the Still Caring Community Clinic at gmail.com. Please contact them to set up an appointment or for more information. And that phone number is 660-525-7824. MOSI, that's the Missouri and Southern Iowa Art Guild, was created to serve local 2- and 3-dimensional artists. Monthly meetings are on the second Thursday of each month at the Kirksville Arts Center, in Kirksville, of course. Meetings held at 5 p.m. Meetings provide networking, information on what is happening in the arts. For more details, call Colleen Wagner at 660-988-2694. 660-988-2694. The Schuyler County Health Department is open every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Services they offer include blood sugar screening, immunizations, lead testing, hemoglobin testing, pregnancy tests, TB testing, and lab draws with a physician's order. No appointments are needed. Please bring your current insurance information. Also provide home health services to clients who qualify. For more details, call the Schuyler County Health Department 660-457-3721. That's 660-457-3721. The Adair County Mobile Food Pantry distribution is at the Hamilton Street Baptist Church starting at 11 a.m. It's held on the last Saturday of every month at the church building at 802 West Hamilton Street, Kirksville. A number is required to receive food and be given out starting at 9 o'clock that morning. To receive food, please bring your photo ID, Social Security card of each family member living with you, as well as proof of residency. An example includes a utility bill or other mail with your name and current address. Also bring a box, basket, or bags to carry the food home. The Ignite Children's Ministry is a Wednesday night program called Team Kid at the Fellowship Baptist Church in Kirksville from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Team Kid is for kids in kindergarten through 5th grade. It includes Bible stories, scripture memory, life application, missions, as well as group fellowship time and food. For more details, call 660-665-0633. 660-665-0633. And the third Tuesday of every month is the day, or rather the time when the Christian Motorcyclist Association local chapter Bondage Breakers number 1013 meet in Kirksville. Those meetings are held at 6 p.m. again on the third Tuesday of every month. Call 660-342-8787 to get more information and find out where to meet. 660-342-8787 is the phone number. The Bondage Breakers support all motorcyclists regardless of what you ride. And a couple more items to tell you about. Grief Share meets every Tuesday at the Fellowship Baptist Church in Kirksville at 7 o'clock at 1701 Jameson Street. And finally, the Adair County Health Department is now accepting applications for citizens wishing to serve the community as a public health volunteer. Volunteers will be trained and prepared to handle public health emergencies requiring immediate response and assist in community education on emergency preparedness. Questions and concerns should be addressed to Jim LeBaron, Administrator of the Adair County Health Department, call 665-8491 for more details at 660-665-8491, or visit the Health Department's website at www.adair.lphamo.org. That's www.adair.lphamo.org. And that takes a look at the community calendar for today. And continuing with the news for the 31st day of December, the City of Kirksville and the Kraft Heinz Corporation have reached an agreement, even though a disagreement remains. The company and city officials are in a disagreement about the assessment of the expanded plant in real estate and personal property value. The Adair County Assessor assessed the property's value at approximately $99 million. Kraft Heinz Assessor say the value is around $10 million. After negotiating, the city and Kraft Heinz have agreed to a property valuation of approximately $40.5 million for 2019. In subsequent years, the company will hire an independent assessor to determine the property value. The county commissioners and county assessor are also agreeable to hiring an independent assessor. You're encouraged to join the Kirksville Parks and Recreation Department and the Adair County Family YMCA for the 4th Annual Indoor Triathlon Challenge. The challenge will be held starting from a week from today through March 10th. During this 9-week challenge, participants will compete either in a full triathlon, half triathlon, which is new for this year, and an ultra triathlon. Participants will have full access to the YMCA and the Aquatic Center, as well as classes offered at all those facilities. Those who complete their goal will also get a prize. Biking mileage can be earned through the use of a rowing machine, recumbent or spin bike, outdoor cycling, or participation in group aerobic classes. Swim distance can be accumulated by lap swimming, water walking, or water aerobics. Running mileage can be tallied while on the treadmill, elliptical machine, running outside, or participating in group aerobic classes. Registration is $35 for members of either facility, $75 for non-members. If you have an active membership at the YMCA or the Aquatic Center, please register at that facility. Non-members can register at either the facility or online at parks.kirksvillecity.com. 3 people were arrested on drug allegation charges in Adair County over the weekend. All 3 people are from Kirksville. According to the police department, 29-year-old Cheryl K. Moots and 17-year-old Kane J. McCoy were jailed for misdemeanor traffic warrants and for being in possession of less than 10 grams of marijuana. Moots was also being held for felony possession of methamphetamine and misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. The third person, Kevin D. Potter, was cited for possession of less than 10 grams of marijuana. The Missouri State Highway Patrol has released its fatality and incident statistics for the 2018 holiday season. The 2018 Christmas counting period began at 6 o'clock on Friday evening, December 21st, and concluded at 11:59 last Tuesday night on December 25th. During that time frame, the Missouri State Highway Patrol investigated 294 crashes, 80 injuries, 106 driving while intoxicated reports, and 9 fatalities. 3 of the fatalities included a 2-vehicle crash in Blue Springs, which is still under investigation. These numbers compared to 2017 county period, where nearly 500 crashes occurred, 125 injuries, 92 driving while intoxicated reports, and 5 fatalities. There were no fatality crashes on Christmas Day, December 25th. A Missouri State Highway Patrol lieutenant from Northeast Missouri has received a promotion. According to Lieutenant Colonel Eric Olson, acting superintendent of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, Lieutenant Kevin Kelly is being promoted to the rank of captain, and designated director of the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division, General Headquarters, Jefferson City, beginning tomorrow. Kelly joined the Missouri State Highway Patrol on July 1st, 1994, as a member of the 67th recruit class. After graduating from the patrol's law enforcement academy, he was assigned to Troop B, Zone 8, which includes Marion and Rawls counties. He worked in Zone 1, Macon, Zone 10, Moberly, and Zone 5, Kirksville, prior to being promoted to corporal in 2003. As a corporal, he was designated Assistant Zone Supervisor and assigned to Troop B, Zone 3, which is Lynn and Sheridan counties. In 2008, Kelly was promoted to Sergeant, designated Zone Supervisor, and assigned to Zone 10, which includes Randolph and Monroe counties. Later in 2008, he was transferred to Zone B, or Troop B, Zone 12, I should say, to the newly created position of Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Trooper, where he supervised commercial vehicle operations in the Troop B Macon area. He transferred to the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division, General Headquarters, in 2009 in Jefferson City. Kelly was promoted to Lieutenant and designated Assistant Director of the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division in 2013. Captain Kelly grew up in Brookfield, Missouri, and graduated from Brookfield High School in 1988. He graduated from Culver Stockton College in Canton in 92 with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. He and his wife, Cassie, have 4 children, Ashley, Brooke, Katie, and Cade. A reminder, the Kirksville Arts Association has announced that the upper gallery of the Sue Ross Art Center will be named the Gaber Gallery. Ron and Elsie Gaber have donated generously to the capital campaign effort. The upper gallery will provide space for exhibits and workshops. This news comes after recently announcing that the main floor gallery of the new Arts Center will be named the Ella Brock Gallery in appreciation of the family history and a recent donation. Construction of the new Sue Ross Arts Center on the corner of Franklin and Jefferson Streets will begin this spring. The Art Center is currently closed for the holidays and will reopen a week from today, January 7th. The future of the Grain Belt Express remains uncertain. The Missouri Public Service Commission office held hearings on the Grain Belt Expressway wind energy line earlier this month. The project would include high voltage transmission lines across a section of northern Missouri as part of a route from wind energy farms in Kansas and to Indiana. The electric transmission line would cut across 8 Missouri counties, including Sheridan, Randolph, Monroe, and Rawls counties. In July, the Missouri Supreme Court ruled in the project's favor after the PSC initially denied the Grain Belt Express because the company had not received permission from 8 counties it was going to build across. While the PSC requested each party to submit reply briefs due in January after 2 formal hearings to determine whether an interstate power transmission project meets requirements of convenience and necessity, the Public Service Commission has made no decision. In other news, a person allegedly involved in the robbery of a bank earlier this week in Pettis County has been apprehended and is awaiting formal charges. According to a post on the Sedalia Police Department's Facebook page, officers and detectives responded to a central bank robbery at 400 West Broadway on December 26th. During the investigation, the suspect reportedly fled on foot to an awaiting vehicle that was being driven by another subject. The driver of the vehicle provided transportation from the area. Last Thursday, the alleged robber was arrested and was placed on a 24-hour hold. The suspect who committed the robbery, or rather is accused of the robbery, reportedly has not been identified. More charges have yet to be filed. The name of the alleged getaway driver has not been released as well. The Centers for Disease Control said over the past few weeks the Show Me State has seen a major uptick in flu-like illnesses, putting the state at a moderate risk for, or rather a moderate level of infection. The area doctors say this uptick in flu-like cases is happening later than last year, and that's likely because this year's vaccine is more effective than last year's. According to the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, statewide cases are less than half of those reported this time last year. As of December 15th, over 2,500 laboratory-positive influenza cases have been reported. At the same time last year, nearly 6,000 cases were reported. Health Department officials say just because the vaccine is working better, it's still important to take steps to make sure that you don't get sick, which includes taking the simple precautions such as washing your hands and covering your mouth when you cough. A reminder, the First Day Hikes takes place at 31 state parks and historic sites across the Show Me State. Tomorrow, one of those includes Thousand Hills State Park in Kirksville. In its 8th year, the annual event is part of America's State Parks First Day Hikes effort, which gives people the opportunity to start the year off right with an outdoor hike at a state park. Ben Ellis, director of the Department of Natural Resources Division of State Parks, says First Day Hikes is a national event encouraging friends and families to push back from the dinner table, turn off the television, and take a hike in their favorite state park. He adds, what better way to start off the new year than with fresh air, friends, and the beauty of nature. Nationwide last year, nearly 55,000 people took part in guided hikes that covered over 133,000 miles for the First Day Hikes in state parks in all 50 states. A list of Missouri state parks with guided First Day Hikes and other related activities is available at moststateparks.com/firstdayhikes. And speaking of the New Year's, we're at the time of year when we take a look back at the successes and failures of the previous year, of the soon-to-previous year, I should say. Interim Education Commissioner for the state of Missouri, Dr. Roger Dorson, is among those looking back on 2018 and describes the year as one that was filled with numerous challenges.
It was a trying time and a tumultuous time, as everybody knows, but, the people here at the department, our staff and everything, they put their heads down and did their jobs and they tried to do the best they could for the kids of Missouri.
Dorson praises the State Board of Education rehiring Dr. Marjorie Van Deven as commissioner.
Well, I've known Margie a long time. In fact, we started the department about the same time when I left the superintendency at Salisbury and came down here in 2006. Margie had just taken a job here at the department as well. So I've known her a long time. She's a very dedicated person, has the best interest of kids at heart, very enthusiastic. It's a great hire. She was doing a great job prior to the unfortunate circumstances that occurred, and glad to have her back.
Dr. Van Deven will take over as commissioner beginning tomorrow. Dr. Dorson will continue to serve as the deputy commissioner, a post he has also held while being the interim commissioner. Dr. Roger Dorson is the acting Missouri Commissioner of Education. He was appointed to the position on December 31st, 2017 by the Missouri Board of Education. He replaced former officeholder Marjorie Van Deven, who was removed by the board on December 1st by a 5-3 vote. The Marshall Park Board is scheduled to hold its next regular monthly meeting this Wednesday, January 2nd. According to the agenda, the board is scheduled to hear several departmental reports. There is also a closed executive session on the agenda for the board to discuss legal, personnel, and real estate matters. Again, the meeting is this Wednesday, starting at 5 o'clock at the administration office at Indian Foothills Park in Marshall, Missouri. Meanwhile, the Madison School Board is in the initial stages of looking into an important software purchase for the school district. Superintendent Shane Stocks says it has to do with accounting.
Our Chuckable system for our accounting software is no longer going to be serviced, so we're in the process of looking at some new accounting software. Software Unlimited seems to be a real popular one in our area, seems to be the one that my bookkeeper is very fond of. But we're just looking at some different options and kind of discussed that a little bit with the board. That's probably going to cost us a little more, but it's kind of out of our hands. We just can't keep doing what we're doing.
The Madison District received a positive audit report during its recent meeting.
Everything was good. We had a good audit this year, so no real issues, typical things. They wish we had more people handling money or doing finance stuff, but typical things for a small school. We just don't have the resources to have more people dealing with the finance stuff. But other than that, audit was good and got it approved.
The Madison School Board also took some time at grant opportunities to the Department of Natural Resources during its meeting prior to the Christmas break. A student-produced publication in the Brookfield School District has received some special recognition. Superintendent Dr. Kyle Collins passed along the good news during their recent meeting of the Brookfield Board of Education.
Our yearbook staff got an award from Walsworth for the work on the yearbook that they did last year, the Bark, which is what we call our yearbook. This award from Walsworth is the first time we've ever gotten it. It's a really exclusive award, and they'll use that edition of our Bark yearbook for trade shows and things like that, so it'll be an example that they use as one of their products. So we were real pleased with our yearbook staff and advisor, and great accomplishment there.
Collins says putting the yearbook together takes a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a ton of work. It's all student-produced. There's different programs that they use to design that and everything, and then also the editing and the writing. So it was a really good honor for them. Mrs. Washam is their advisor for that.
Dr. Kyle Collins, superintendent of the Brookfield School District, during their recent meeting, the Brookfield Board of Education also took an early look at next year's academic calendar. After serving as Randolph County prosecuting attorney for almost 30 years, Mike Fusselman decided not to seek re-election earlier this year. Fusselman says despite that tough decision, the job does have some rewarding aspects for him.
For me, the important thing about being a prosecutor was making a difference in the lives of kids and protecting them more than anything else. And I felt that way with domestic assault, elderly abuse. You know, typically with the elder abuse and the child abuse, you have people who are being victimized by virtue of where they are, their station in life. And they didn't bring that on themselves. They had no ability to control the situation.
Fusselman began his career in another area of law enforcement several decades ago.
It started back when I was a police officer. I was a detective with the Moberly Police Department. I worked there for 8 years, back in 78 through 85. Some of my professors had convinced me to go to law school and get a law degree, struggling with cases, getting results we wanted to see. And they said the only way you do that is if you get the right initials behind your name. So I did go to law school up at UMKC, came back here, and had a couple years of experience in Boone County as an assistant prosecutor under Joe Mosley.
Outgoing Randolph County prosecuting attorney Mike Fusselman, his replacement, Stephanie Lunsford, who has been serving as assistant prosecuting attorney, was elected prosecutor in November and will take over those duties tomorrow. Work on the new budget is expected to be the primary focus of the Randolph County Commission early in 2019. Presiding Commissioner John Truesdale fills us in on what's going on.
The Commission has been in budget mode now for a period of weeks, and we're looking at the priority list, and we're turning around and getting the bids on a number of different things that we're wanting to do so that we can have those dollar amounts sitting there in front of us as we come into the new year. I anticipate it to be better than what it was last year. We had some unusual things that came up last year's budget that were some high dollar items that were in that budget. I don't have that I know of coming forward into this year.
One project that is expected to be included is some much-needed bridge work.
We redid a bridge last year here north of Huntsville. We've got another bridge that we're getting ready to turn around and put a new surface top on. It's on County Road 2130, but that will be done, and that won't cost what we had to spend last year. It won't be nearly as expensive. Our road and bridge crew is going to come out. We're going to turn around and do that work ourselves. The polymers that we're going to put on the surface of the bridge, road and bridge, we'll be able to spread and take care of on that end, and so that won't cost us nearly as much.
Beginning in 2019, the Randolph County Commission will meet on Tuesdays and Wednesdays instead of Tuesdays and Thursdays. With the deer hunting season winding down, many people are wondering what hunting opportunities are available for them. Randolph County Conservation Agent Zach Barnes says there are still several to consider.
Archery wraps up on the 15th, muzzleloader on the 1st, so people are like, well, what are we going to do? So there's plenty of stuff to do. There's squirrel hunt, there's rabbit hunt, we've got trapping season that's still open, quail, raccoon season, you know, if you want a raccoon hunt. All these are things that people don't think about. They're more niche activities. If you know somebody that does these things, go out and go with them. Just go see what it's like.
Barnes says if you try one of these seasons, you may find that you really enjoy them.
I didn't rabbit hunt. I've never raccoon hunted. I never did upland bird hunting, upland game hunting when I came up here. I've gone rabbit hunting. I've gone raccoon hunting at night with dogs. I've watched bird dogs work through different activities. It's just so neat to see these different things, the time and effort people put into their dogs and their equipment and learning these crafts. And even if you don't want to hunt, just go out with these people. Watch some of these people who have very good dogs work, and it's just really neat to watch them work and watch them do their thing.
Randolph County Conservation Agent Zach Barnes. Consult the Missouri hunting season's guidelines by contacting your local MDC agent or the Department of Conservation's website. The Marceline City Council made some updates to the cemetery ordinance during their recent meeting. City Manager Richard Hoon outlines what has been approved just before their Christmas meeting.
Through the years, probably the last 20 or 30, we've done a lot of amendments, little strike-throughs here, little changes there. And it made it very cumbersome to use, so we rewrote it, applying all the new amendments, and then changed a few things, like somewhere in the codification process years ago, the name of the cemetery actually changed from Mount Olivet to Mount Olive. Well, we caught that, and it's a Scrivener's error, so we've corrected that.
The composition of the cemetery board is also going to be changing
to more match our planning commission board. That means less people. It's difficult to get volunteers to be on a cemetery board. And this last 2 years or so, it was almost impossible to get a quorum. So we've reduced that number from 10 to 7. And then we also, instead of having them just being limited to the city limits, we opened it up to members or residents of Sheridan and Lynn counties.
The Marceline City Council also approved an update to the General Building Regulations Permit, Procedures, and Fee Schedule that has not been updated since 1967. After 8 years in the Missouri Senate, Brian Munzinger of Williamstown has bid farewell to Jefferson City at the annual meeting of the Missouri Farm Bureau held earlier this month. Munzinger said he was grateful to impact so many lives to the benefit of his fellow agriculturalists, including family and legislative staff.
My intern that I had this year contacted all my past interns. They made a memory book. And that's one thing that we don't realize, how many lives that we actually touch and how we touch those lives. It's very important that we as individuals carry on.
Munzinger also expressed gratitude for the support of the Missouri Farm Bureau, who recognized Munzinger with their Distinguished Service Award. He had these parting words.
We've had lots of opportunities in agriculture, and you got to make the best of those and take advantage of them. We've got lots of challenges. You've got to turn those into opportunities. And really, the biggest challenge is up to you all. Every year, defending agriculture in the legislature gets harder and harder. But the biggest challenge is up to you, and that's to tell our story about agriculture, what we're about, why we do what we do, and how we can be successful.
Munzinger was chairman of the Senate Ag Committee for both of his terms. The main responsibility Missouri lawmakers will have when they return to Jefferson City in 2019 is to approve the new state budget. Senate-elect Cindy O'Laughlin brings a business perspective to the process.
We have money to do the things we need to do, but we don't prioritize very well, and we don't demand accountability. So we spend a lot of money, $28 billion, and yet we are not mandating that certain things be achieved with that money.
The Shelbina businesswoman indicated that accountability is very important.
In a business, you would never spend money that way, and you can't achieve a goal that you don't have a plan for. So you set up the things that you want to achieve, you work with your state departments, you have measurable goals they need to achieve, and then after you have implemented your budget, you go back and say, okay, are we achieving the things we need to achieve? And in my opinion, in many cases, we're not.
During the legislative session, we'll have interviews with state senators and representatives from northern and central Missouri. Two Warsaw, Missouri residents sustained minor injuries in a traffic crash in Pettis County on Friday. Highway Patrol says the crash occurred as a northbound vehicle, driven by 37-year-old Stephanie Crane, reportedly traveled off the roadway ran into the median and struck a fence. Crane and her 13-year-old passenger were taken to Pettis County Hospital, or check that to Bothwell Hospital in Sedalia for treatment. The crash occurred around 6:40 on Friday night on Highway 65 at Route F. And a Bowling Green, Missouri man was seriously injured in a single vehicle crash Friday afternoon northeast of California, Missouri. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says that 30-year-old Casey D. Chrisman lost control of his truck on northbound Route O. Truck overturned, coming to rest on its top. Chrisman was taken to a Central Missouri hospital for treatment of serious injuries. The crash occurred around 2:30 Friday afternoon. The Shelbina Police Department's K-9, Zuko, received a bullet and stab protective vest a month ago thanks to a donation from the nonprofit organization Vested Interest in Canines. Shelbina Police Chief Jerry Fenton discusses Zuko's impact in the Shelbina Police Department's efforts to fight crime.
Zuko allows us, he's another tool, allows us to reduce crime, reduce drugs in the community. He also allows us the ability to track individuals, whether it be for a criminal nature or for a safety location. So he not only helps us, but he also responds and assists other law enforcement agencies throughout northeast Missouri. So he's an asset to us here locally, but then also to the surrounding area and community.
Fenton says the Shelbina Police Department connected with vested interest in canines after Zuko helped locate a missing child in July of last year. Vested interest in canines is located in East Taunton, Massachusetts. For the last 9 years, it has provided more than 3,100 protected vests through private and corporate donations of nearly $6 million. Zuko's handler, by the way, is Captain Cole Henshaw. Finally in the news today, the Fayette City Council discussed a potential public safety tax during their December 18th meeting. Administrator Robin Triplett says Fayette's city attorney has prepared legislation for the council to share with legislators.
This just gives us the opportunity to put on the ballot up to a 1% sales tax for public safety. At this point, we haven't decided what we will use that money for, but more than likely it won't go on the ballot before April of 2020. We just want to take the opportunity to be able to do that, to have that opportunity, and that's why we're going ahead and proceeding with that.
As of the latest meeting, the Fayette City Council still awaited word on when it will meet with the legislators. The council also continued to talk on improvements to D.C. Rogers Lake, and Triplett says donations are requested with the project, which is estimated at $360,000. Now, turning our attention to the weather forecast as we end 2018 and look into 2019. We'll see cloudy skies for the rest of the day, periods of rain coming to an end. Temperatures holding steady in the upper 30s in the Kirksville, Missouri area. And then for tonight, cloudy skies with a slight chance of drizzle this evening, mixing with and changing to light snow overnight. No mention of any accumulation, though. Mostly in the form of flurries, overnight lows into the lower 20s. Northwest winds at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And then for tomorrow, cloudy skies to kick off 2019 with highs around 25 degrees. North winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy for Tuesday evening, turning partly cloudy overnight. Lows in the mid-teens. North winds at about 10 miles an hour, turning light and variable overnight. Sunny skies on Wednesday. Highs a little bit warmer into the upper 20s. Winds out of the southwest at about 10 miles per hour. Clear skies Wednesday night. Lows around 17. And then for Thursday, mostly sunny skies. Highs in the mid-30s with lows in the mid-20s. For Friday, we'll see mostly clear skies with highs in the mid-40s. Lows in the mid-20s. For the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, highs in the mid to upper 40s, lows in the upper 20s. Taking a look at the weather almanac for today, and sunrise this morning for the Kirksville area occurred at 7:32. Sunset is at 4:54. Sunrise tomorrow morning is at 7:32, and sunset at 4:55. Yesterday, we reached a high of 40 degrees, overnight low of 18, which is not too far off the norms. Sunrise, again, normally we have a high of 35, a low of 18. And so far, as of last report, picked up roughly 0.04 of an inch of precipitation for yesterday, and still haven't checked the gauge for today, so should have those details for you hopefully by tomorrow. That's been a look at news and weather information of interest in northern and central Missouri on this edition of the Fresh Canned Report for Monday, December 31st, 2018. I'm your armchair news reporter, Joe Hafner, thanking you for your time, because my time is up.